evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. My name is Leon Jones. Tonight is Wednesday, October 19th, 2016. Tune into the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show every Saturday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Last week we talked about entrepreneurship. It's a good show. This week we're going to talk about networking regarding businesses. You don't want to miss that show. Guest calling number is 215-383-5785. If you do miss my Blog Talk Radio shows, under each and every video, I have a link to all of my Blog Talk Radio shows on my Facebook page and my Twitter page. Just click on those links. You will find all of my videos for your listening pleasure. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show channel so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. On this channel, I do not engage in emotional and controversial topics, nor do I participate in drama or unnecessary bickering. So please be respectful and positive. Also, if you have a business or a topic that you would like for me to discuss on Blog Talk Radio or YouTube, please email me at lej6521@gmail.com. If you have a comment, I do read comments, but here's the deal with comments. Make sure your comments are pithy, no bloviating, if you wish to opine. Now on to tonight's topic, and we're going to talk about the analysis of the third and final presidential debate between Democrat Hillary Clinton and Republican Donald Trump. Overall, I thought it was a good debate. And it was a good debate for this reason. Fox News and Chris Wallace, and my salute goes to Mr. Chris Wallace. He handled himself very well. That's how a debate should be moderated. He was fair and balanced. He interrupted both candidates that they were filibustering. So they had to stay on topic. Now, here's what I saw. I saw that when it came to the Supreme Court and abortion, that was Hillary's issue. But here's where I saw the contradiction. She believes in abortion, but look at the gun rights. In my mind, she still wants to take guns away from honest citizens. This is why she wants to go through these massive checks. Here's the problem with guns. It's not the gun that kills people. It's the person that picks up the gun that kills somebody. In all of the American cities, we have a lot of gun violence. Why? Because we have a lot of illegal guns. The bottom line is you have to keep the laws on the books. You can't create new laws. If what you have isn't working, then you need to enforce it. That's what the problem is. I believe in the Second Amendment as well. Now, Donald Trump believes that each and everybody should have guns. In other words, a countrywide concealed plan. Okay? I agree with that. But you have to train people to shoot a gun. You can't put a gun in everybody's hand. You see what happens? You have parents who are irresponsible with guns, and this is why their children are getting guns and accidentally harming themselves and others. Now, again, when it came to the Roe v. Wade will never be abolished. Okay? It'll never be abolished. When Trump was asked about the abortion, he wanted to shift that issue to the states. In other words, he advocates states' rights. He doesn't want government in the business of abortion. Now, here's the funny part. Neither does Hillary Clinton, but she does want government in our pockets when it comes to taxes. I'll get on that issue in a minute. Here's another thing. When it came to deportations, okay, Trump wants to build a wall. Here's where there's a problem. Who's going to pay for the wall? Believe it, you have maybe 15, maybe 2,000 miles of wall to build. Well, that's a big engineering problem and costly. A wall's never going to work. Now, we do have drones in the air. Hillary mentioned something about drones. But here's the problem. Illegals are going to constantly sneak over here. But what you got to do is, you can't deport everybody. So I'm going to say on this issue, I'm going to give it to Hillary Clinton. Yeah, is it wrong for an illegal to come over here but make money and send it back to Mexico? Absolutely, it's wrong. But again, you have to find out who the criminals are, and it's very difficult to do. You do have a lot of illegals sneaking in this country. Well, why is that happening? There may not be enough border patrols down on the Mexican border. That's why they're doing it. And they're also sneaking into this country because of the Mexican government. You think about it. When you go over to Mexico, you have a lot of Mexican cartels. So their president isn't really doing anything about the economy of Mexico. So they're coming over here thinking that they can get a better life, which you can get a better life. So what Mr. Trump said, he wants to have a massive deportation. It's not going to work. Can't do it. Now, what Mrs. Clinton said, and I have a little bit of an agreement with her on this. The ones that are already here, make them American citizens. However, here's what you do, though. If any person comes from another country, wants to be here legally, they got to learn the language, the border, and the culture. Like Michael Savage would say, language, borders, and culture. If you're going to be here in this country, the most rational plan is the ones that are already here, as long as they're not criminals, allow them to be American citizens. Yes, they sneaked over here, because let's talk about the deportation issue again. And I hate to pick on Donald Trump about this, but you have to look under the surface here. He wants illegals to come over here as well. You know why? Because he can hire illegals for cheap labor. That's what they don't tell you. See, Republicans are slick. They say, well, we don't want immigrants. Yeah, you do. Because you can blackmail them. You can get them to work for almost free. And then tell them, well, if you don't do the slave labor for me, I'm going to have you deported. That's true. Democrats want illegals for votes. Now, you see how that fair and balance works? And that's what I'm trying to teach you. Look at both sides of the issue. Another issue. When this issue was talked about regarding foreign affairs, immigration, Clinton tried to go over to Russia. She deflected. I mean, she didn't have an answer. But again, Clinton was pretty much, I'm going to say in the polls, leading, and that's in some polls. But she did deflect on that issue with immigration. She went back to the same old big government, class warfare. Anybody under $120,000 will get free college. That's never going to work because we don't have enough 1%ers to pay for all the government programs, and corporations are paying their fair share. She doesn't understand that there is a 40% corporate tax rate that is the highest in the country, and this is one of the reasons why companies are going overseas. Now, let's go to another issue that was on the table, Obamacare. Okay? If you're going to repeal, you must replace. Donald Trump didn't tell me what he's going to replace it with. He said, I'm going to repeal it. Again, when you are in a debate or you're answering questions, give a complete answer. Don't tell half truths. We already know what the problem is. Let us know how you are going to fix it. And basically, let me tell my audience this. The president is a figurehead. Because it doesn't matter which one of them gets in office. The individuals who hold the purse at your House of Representatives. So besides winning the presidency, you want your party to actually have the three-headed monster. You want to be in control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency. That way, with the majority in power, the president can get their agenda pushed through. Right now, they're not going to get a lot of it pushed through because of partisan politics. Hillary went into the defunding of Planned Parenthood. Okay? Let's get into this now. She supports abortion, but doesn't support the defunding of Planned Parenthood. Okay? Well, you know, Planned Parenthood is paid for by taxpayers. Planned Parenthood is not a government program. Again, she wants big government, but not for abortions. That's where the hypocrisy is. Skipping back to the immigration. Hillary Clinton did want a wall built in 2006. Well, again, she couldn't answer when Donald Trump asked her. That's when, again, she skipped over there to the espionage to Russia. Now let's go over to Donald Trump. Talked about possibly repealing NAFTA. Again, what are you going to replace it with? Now, he did mention he cut business taxes, which is a good thing. Small businesses are hurting. Small business generates 60% of the jobs. If you hurt small business, you hurt the economy. If you raise taxes, we're going to become more debt. Individuals don't understand. The only time you should actually raise taxes is when we are at the peak. Because there's two things that could happen in an economy. There's inflation and there's deflation. When you want to raise taxes when you're at the peak. Now, the reason why cutting taxes can do good, because you create more taxpayers. And when you have more people paying taxes, or let's say with the vice president, Obama's vice president saying, skin in the game. Well, everybody's got skin in the game. They're all paying for the programs. So if you have more people working, you have more taxpayers. Cutting taxes is important, especially individuals who have the money to invest in people to run their businesses and start businesses. This is where Donald Trump was very effective. He is an economist, okay? And right now, I've looked at the numbers. The economy has only grown by 1%. That's very small. And the jobs that have been created haven't been the high-paying jobs. They've been a lot of your service-type jobs. So when it comes to the economy and what I believe in, she lost that battle on the economy. She doesn't know anything about the economy. She's talking about starting from the middle. It doesn't work like that, okay? We're not elastic, okay? We look at everything from the top down, not from the bottom up, not from the middle. But I will tell you this now, where she can be correct is, yes, because you have more middle class people working, the middle class is paying the bulk of the taxes. But I did remember at one time, she said she was going to raise taxes on the middle class. But now she went back and said, well, we're going to raise taxes on people making $250,000 or more. It's already at 39.6%. That's where it was when Bill Clinton was in office. That is the highest federal tax rate. Well, we don't have enough individuals making $250,000 or more. See, the more money people are making, the less people we have. We have Warren Buffett. We have a lot of her other donors, George Soros, who donated money to her. See, what has happened with Clinton? Clinton can always talk about Donald Trump and his taxes, but she's never been in business, okay? I want to hit on that. She's talking about, well, he hasn't produced his tax returns. But there are certain clauses where you make a certain amount of money, and I believe it's over 176 million, you don't pay federal income tax. If you make over 117,000, you don't pay Social Security. It's capped. So he's taking advantage of the business loopholes. What do you think itemized deductions are? Donations. She gets money from a lot of her constituents. George Soros. She got money from foreign politicians, which they have no business being involved in American politics, for her foundation. That's documented. She didn't mention that, which Donald Trump had mentioned a little bit more about that. But because the issues were basically more substantive by him and for him, this is why he barely won the debate, particularly in the last half hour to 45 minutes. He was talking about her character. But what has to happen is you have a lot of naive voters out here who really don't vote on logic. They vote with emotion. So what's in particularly the woman's voters' minds today is what Donald Trump alleged, said, and did to some women. Bill Clinton did the same thing, but here's the difference. Bill Clinton's not running for office. So no matter how you tie Bill Clinton to any issue, Donald Trump, you're running for office. Now I'm giving you the objective approach. This is the only way I can see this. So the big issue of the night that I've seen that gave Donald Trump a small edge, but this is what I don't like, the sportsmanship. When he was asked, well, the way the system works, if you lose, are you going to concede? Because even though Al Gore, we had that debacle back in 2000 in Florida, Al Gore conceded. This is what you do in American politics. Donald Trump didn't answer that question. He said, you wait and see. That's not presidential. When you lose, you show sportsmanship. That's going to sit in the voters' minds, and I don't think he understands that. Hillary Clinton is a much better politician because she's been in politics for a while. When it came to the national debt, okay, Donald Trump was exactly right. Government cannot run the economy. You need to put it in the hands of business people. They can negotiate with other business people. When it came to the media, well, is the election rigged? It is rigged. The system's always been rigged. This is why you have the same people running for office. That's not new. But how is he going to fix it? The only way you fix it is you elect ethical people. But here's why it's never going to be fixed. Because the system is very tempting. So what Donald Trump has to do, he has to go back and campaign. And Hillary Clinton, it's not over. Even if she's in the lead based on some polls, still got to campaign hard. Because I'm going to tell you in the next 3 weeks, there will be something else coming out. Now there are no more debates. So this is where Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, they must walk a fine line. So going over the issue of this debate, Donald Trump did edge it out. He was a little bit clearer on the issues today. Hillary did do well with, okay, she believes in Roe versus Wade, and she did well with the Supreme Court. Donald Trump did well with the Supreme Court too, but Hillary was a little bit better because she explained the people she was fighting for. Donald didn't. I think Donald also lost points again on the NAFTA. You repeal, you must replace. He also lost points in my eyes on Obamacare. Okay, we already have it. If you're not going to replace it, don't repeal it. And you may not have to repeal it because I have certain items that this is what you have to have to fix it. Number one, the first thing with healthcare, stop tort reform. That way you won't have malicious lawsuits, loser pays. 2, government oversight. 3, create an umbrella so small businesses can get a group plan and health savings accounts. It'll keep premiums down. That's the 4th thing. And number 5, you want competition? Let's have insurance across state lines. Let me go back through it again. Number 1, tort reform. Number 2, an umbrella for small businesses to set up a group plan. Number 3, free clinics, because we're already paying for it anyway for people who don't have health insurance. Number 4, government oversight of what these insurers can charge. And number 5, let's open it up to the free market with insurance across state lines. That's a big one because that way there's no monopoly between Blue Cross and Blue Shield and some of these other big insurance companies out there. So at the end of the day, to sum it up, it's all up to the voters. So here's what I'm going to tell you voters. Don't be naive. Don't look at the polls. Look at the voting records. Suit up and boot up. If you got to get people to vote, educate them about the system. Don't vote on emotion. Don't vote because Hillary is a woman. This is what we had with Obama. What you have to do is look at what the issues are with you. For me, I tell you, it's the economy and jobs. Without money, we can't do anything. This is why I want lower taxes and lower corporate tax rate. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Again, leave a comment. Make sure it's pithy. This is not an avenue of agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just laying out what I saw. I may have missed something as well. If you saw something, let me know. But this is just my analysis. Again, Chris Wallace did a fantastic job of moderating the debate. Kept everything calm, and that's how debates should be. It was much easier for me to take some notes. Yes, was there a little bit of mudslinging? Not like last debate. And that's why I like Fox News. They kept everything fair and balanced. So Donald Trump can't complain about the media because it favored both of you. So at the end of the day, the debate is over. It is up to us as voters. Be vigilant. Don't listen to the media or don't listen to the polls. Get with people who understand the system and make sure they're objective, not subjective. Because what's politics? At the end of the day, politics is what it is. It's all a game. It's a dirty game. And individuals who've been in it for a long time, they're in it to win it. You want somebody that's going to represent you. You don't represent a congressperson or a senator. They represent you. So November 8th, 20 days from now, we are going to be voting. And that's my commentary for this evening's edition of the 401 Talk Zone Radio Show. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember to be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed evening. Good night.